Put the C in the ouch and the ing in the couch, and we got couching with Koel.
Ouch!
Couch!
Ouch!
No, couch!
Ouch!
Couching.
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 Coeling.
With Koeling. I have the
Koeling.
gorgeous, free-spirited, bohemian, leggy Lisa Hyden. I don't think I need to introduce you anymore, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to talk about, at 20, I think, you had 2 suitcases in your hand, you were jobless,
I did.
and
Oh,
you were standing in the middle of the streets in Australia. Tell me how you got there and what happened after that.
Of course you would bring that up first. You're so naughty. You told me before this you did some research on me. Okay, so I ended up in the street because I had a boyfriend that I was living with at the time, and I'm going to stick to what I said in the interview. I told him something. Well, it was a long lead up of various
You
different
will
things.
tell me what actually happened. What happened? You don't have to go into like details of the fight or, you know, with the boyfriend and stuff. But
well, it was a long lead up of us obviously not being right for each other. And you know, when you're in a relationship and you can feel that love is not enough, or the chemistry or the dynamic is not working, and you love this person so much, but they're taking you for granted. They don't see your value. All of these you just feel as though you could leave the room and it would make no difference to their life whatsoever. So I was in a bit of a relationship like that, and then I told him something. There was a specific fight and an argument that ended the relationship, and I was living with him at the time, and I was very young. I was 19 years old or 20 years old, and I was in the street with my 2 suitcases. And I remember I had a girlfriend that I'd gone to school with who I hadn't seen in about 3 years, and I'd had lunch with her the day before. She was a childhood friend. And I had nowhere to go, and I was so new, and I had come.
Where were your parents?
My parents were in India. I had my sister. I had my family. I could have gone and lived with them.
But you were doing it
but
on
I
your
didn't.
own.
I was doing it on my own, and I didn't have the courage to tell them. I just got kicked out. I was so embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? My boyfriend broke up with me, and now I'm in the street.
Like, not even like halfway, or let's move on. Like, you're out, right? Yeah.
I'm in the street.
Yeah.
Actually, he was very kind. We broke up, and he let me stay there for 2 more days. And then after that, he was like, okay, leave. So I had to leave. So I called this girl, and I moved in with her. And it was the beginning of the rest of my life, because for me, that was the time that I decided I would never be put in that position ever again. I would never be with somebody that didn't value me, number one. I would never be in the street. I would always be independent, and I would always be my own woman, living life on my own terms, regardless of whether or not I lived with somebody. I would, you know, have enough cushion in the push-in and money in the bank and be able to support myself and all of that kind of stuff. So it was a very life-changing experience to be at rock bottom, because that clarified a lot of things for the future.
Were you crying? Were you upset? Like, was it like, or were you just like, I can deal with this, focus, let me get on with my life?
I was heartbroken, so I cried because of the heartbreak, but I was very focused as well. And that's what I also realized. Your hardest moments in life and your toughest moments in life are actually the moments that define you in that sense, because you find the energy. It's like a workout. When you're at that point where you're about to like cave in and you've reached the point of failure, you find the energy to do like the last bench press or the last push-up or the last whatever. So I realized actually how strong I am as a human being, and not how little these things affect me, but how much they actually make you greater, and they carve you, and they teach you things in life.
Now, you're very successful, but you have worked your way up here. You've come from so little, like we talk about like standing on the street, for instance, and now it's from so little to too much. Does it boggle your mind sometimes?
I mean, is there such a thing as too much? I think the important part is to look back and be thankful. Like, sometimes now, I remember when for example, here's a classic example. I watched you do an interview with Kangana on this couch, and I actually in that moment thought, what a cool interview. I wonder if I'm ever going to sit on the couch with Koel. Couching.
Here you are,
couching. So this is a classic thing. So
you're couch-worthy now.
I am totally couch-worthy. I'm on the red fluffy couch with the coffee mug and Koel. And I always wondered, would I end up here? And this is a moment where I should look back right now and say, thank you. I am on the couch. I've done something to deserve a place on your wonderful couch.
So what are you saying? You're saying that when you have too much, you're just thankful for it and you move on?
No, because you always want more, and it's important to actually recognize when, you know, you've kind of achieved something, and then look back and say thank you. Because right now I can tell you 10 different things that I want. You know what I'm saying? The more you grow, the more you want to grow.
Tell me one.
Well, I don't want to tell you, but there is this one film that I really want.
Is it going to happen, maybe?
Hopefully. If you manifest hard enough.
Well, there's a quote of yours.
Or I want to grow my, you know, my organic skin line, Naked by Lisa Hyden. I want that to expand and to grow. Are we going to jump to that prematurely? Because I can see my jars are sitting right there.
So these are her jars. You are, I know nothing about them.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
pretend. You
okay.
are going to sell it to me.
My range started because I decided that I wanted to replicate bathing in the ocean. And I know, I sound like such a hippie right now.
And you're not, right? You just sound like one because you're so not a hippie, right?
I wanted to replicate bathing in the ocean. So my whole Naked by Lisa Hyden range started with bath salts. So I'd come back from a trip from Goa and I was in Bombay just feeling very toxic and that we live in this busy, overwhelming, polluted city, and salt is an aura cleanser and it's an astringent and it can do everything that soap can. So I decided to get some sea salt and put essential oil inside of it, and I mixed it up, and that's how I came up with my first bath salts. And then I started bathing with salt on a regular basis. And because I was shooting for fashion magazines, they thought, oh, it was so cute, send us some of your products. So I started sending them my products, and they started writing about them. And once they started writing about them, it kind of became a little business. And that's how Naked by Lisa Hyden started. So this bath salt is La Isla.
So she is entrepreneur Lisa, not just actress, model, marathoner, and lots of other things. Now I need you to do a 20-second...
I haven't even sold it to you.
No, that's it. 20-second
Okay.
spot commercial there for Naked.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
I am putting you on the spot.
I don't know how to do a spot commercial. I would definitely hire another model to advertise my products for me. I'd hire you.
What would I do?
You would, I don't
Teach
know,
me. Yeah.
you'd be in a palace in a big freestanding bathtub putting salt into your, actually you wouldn't be putting the salt in, you'd be putting the essential oils in, rubbing papaya into your face and bathing with rose petals around you. And all of a sudden someone would come and pour a whole bunch of salt into your bath and you'd come out looking like a goddess.
Listen, I want to be there right now. Let's go. I mean, forget the couch. Let's do the next interview in a bathtub. I think this is a super idea.
well.
I'm already getting lots and lots of sponsors
Crazy
for
ideas.
it. Now,
Okay.
did the overwhelming acceptance of your bohemian out there character Vijayalakshmi almost sort of give you a license to be more Lisa? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think it gave a lot of women the license to sort of not feel bad about being who they were. Like that was the compliment that I got after doing Queen was I got emails and I got letters from a lot of young girls that were in college and stuff saying that when I saw you play that character and everyone loved Vijayalakshmi, it made me feel like it was okay to be me because I've always felt like I'm a wild child from the inside out and it's so socially unacceptable to sort of just be inappropriate or whatever. So I rewatched Queen the other day, and I don't know how much I'm actually like Vijayalakshmi. I think it's more the nature and the freedom and the confidence. And we were talking about this before we started the interview of how she is unapologetic for who she is, and she's just a girl. And I think that I actually can take a leaf out of her book and realize that I don't have to. There's no need to pretend in front of anybody. It's okay to be who you are. It's absolutely okay. And that's what the talk that I just did at Conclave was about too. Is about if you're original,
did you arrive
people will
here?
celebrate that.
Did you arrive to this point of like it's okay to
Definitely.
be here because we live in such a, like judgmental, closed, you must conform society?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's been a long journey of realizing that it's okay to be Lisa, and I think that that's something that most young girls actually do go through. You're not. I mean, some people are just born feeling, confident and fabulous, and then you have to sometimes you have to go through that process of being accepted to realize that you are acceptable yourself. And it's not even. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's not an underconfidence thing. It's just if you know your full power and your full strength, oftentimes we can pretend to be less than we really are because we're afraid of being as fabulous as we really are.
Unleashing ourselves,
Yes,
right?
completely. You always try and play it down because you know that if you act like yourself, you're going to get
you not
way
anymore?
too much attention. I don't want all that attention.
Yeah, no, with that body and that face, I just don't want the attention. Okay, yeah.
Stop it. You know what
I'm
saying?
only in a medium where I have to be center of attention, but no, I don't want the attention.
No, but I actually, it's funny, I don't actually enjoy unwanted or unnecessary
No,
attention.
who does, right?
No, and if we behave like that all the time, we will attract that kind of attention. So I think, and it's also about channeling that energy and not necessarily behaving inappropriately, but channeling all that craziness and that wildness and that free-spiritedness into something that actually becomes useful to other people or useful to the world.
Well, this is a quote of yours that actually says that.
Yes.
That if you keep putting your energy out there, eventually the universe will respond. Now, do you feel that the universe has responded to you?
I do think that. I think that if you carry on pursuing what you're passionate about or keep just always. There's this quote that I read on Twitter the other day, and it said, "Be patient, but never still." And I think that's very important, because to get what you want sometimes takes a while to get there. But the important part is to keep trying and to keep going and to keep, just keep moving.
Be patient, but
Just
never stay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that. Now, tell me what it means for you to be truly free. What it means for you.
That's a very good question, because I have contemplated this a lot on many different levels. I think to be free is to live life appreciating everything that you have, but to not necessarily be attached or stuck in a particular way of being. I think it means to live life without crutches. Does that make sense? It's okay to have wonderful things, or to have this amazing career, or we have a lot of identities or a lot of things that we attach to ourselves, like I'm an actress, I'm a model, I'm my parents' daughter, these are my siblings, I live in Mumbai, or I do yoga. But to actually live your life understanding that you are all of this, but that you're also nothing at the end of the day. Sorry, am I getting way too philosophical
but
for you right
that's
now?
a difficult place to arrive at, to actually say that none of it defines you.
None of it defines you. I'm
you.
indefinable, and I think that's why I become innately uncomfortable when something starts to become too much of a given. I don't want anything to define me, because that's a very claustrophobic feeling, to actually feel like I'm an actress. No, the minute that settles in too much, it'll be like, no, I'm not that. I'm so many other things as well. There's so many other things that. This doesn't sound like a serious case of commitment phobia.
No, it means that you want to go here and there, and luckily you're born in a time that we can do that. Okay, so I also know that you do something else, which is making animal balloons.
Oh my Lord, you know
balloon
everything.
Animals.
You really did do research, didn't you? Okay, so I'm gonna make you. I'm not going to tell you what I'm making you. I'm just going to make it for you.
Okay, and I'll have to guess.
You'll have to guess what it is.
Or I'll have to see. Hopefully, I'll be able to recognize what it is.
Hopefully it doesn't pop. I haven't done this in a while.
How did you learn this, anyway?
I learned when I was living in the States. I had a friend of mine that used to do this, and he taught me how to do it. And we used to do fundraisers for charity. And
just sit there and make
animal balloons and take donations. Yeah, it was a fun thing to do. It was constructive.
So this particular animal is going to be auctioned for charity.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, we
Since
must.
you do it for charity, we'll put it on Twitter, and
Let's
hopefully
auction,
it'll last.
Let's auction this for charity.
Yeah.
So can you tell what I'm making yet?
No, I don't want to guess what I'm guessing right now.
Okay, I think you're going to be able to smell.
Oh, piggy!
It's the pink
Oink,
balloon
oink,
pig.
oink.
Exactly. Wait till you see his stomach.
Oh my God, Lisa, you're good. This is
Thank
not just
you.
like I do this and actually you're rubbish at it, you know?
I am a... Okay, actually... Whoa!
Oh no, but Piggy's face
You
is still there.
spoke too soon!
But listen,
Yeah.
Piggy's face is right there. Oh, oink, oink. I'm going to show you a couple of photos, and you're
Okay.
going to tell me who's in there and
Okay.
what's going on. That's you and your...
That's me and my mom.
And what is your family like? Because you're like 8 siblings,
There's 8 of us.
all from the same parent.
From the same 2 parents. I know. They had so many kids together. I've got 3 brothers and I've got 4 sisters. And my mom had me, I think, when she was 23 or 24. I think she had my older sister when she was 22. And
What is it? You still live at home, right?
I do live at home now. I haven't for many years, but I do live at home now. I've lived at home for the last 1 year. I moved back home again.
And what is that like? Is it noisy? Is it crazy? Is it
crazy.
Is
It's
it
absolutely
peaceful? Is it secure making?
It's all of those things. I think it's crazy because of the number of people that live in one house together. It's fun. I feel very secure living in such a big family, and I left home when I was very young. I went to the States and I went to Australia, then I came to India, always had my own apartment. And a year ago I was just like, okay, let's just live with my family for a little while now, because I haven't done it in so many years, and I absolutely love it. It's amazing.
And your mom's quite chilled out. I mean, you've said in a lot of interviews that she's actually quite hippie in her thoughts.
She doesn't like it when I call her that.
Okay, so we
because
won't call Mom, you're not a hippie.
No, because
Okay.
you know the thing is, I
Yeah.
think that people are hippies. I think what I mean to say when I say that is that she's very free-spirited and she's very open-minded and she's very non-judgmental. She's a great and easy person to talk to. She's a real mother, and she mothers many people in life, not just her 8 children, which is why I love her so much, because I think that she's a listening ear to many different people. And my dad is the same too. My dad's also like that. But yeah, it's a crazy house that we live in. But it's full of love, and everyone's very creative, and they all pursue their passions. And we fight sometimes, but not very much.
Are you the most spoiled of the house because you're the most successful, and therefore different rules for you, etc.?
No. I said in an interview once that I was the most loved person in the house, and I cannot tell you how much flack I got for that.
How dare you say that?
How dare you say you're mom's favorite? They were so angry at me. I'm so glad I'm getting to say that I am not my mom's favorite.
Is there someone special in your life right now? Are you single? Are you dating? Are you engaged? What's going on?
No, I'm not dating. I'm not engaged. I am seeing somebody, but I don't know if I want to talk about it on your beautiful red sofa. I'll tell you afterwards, though, because you're my girlfriend.
Oh, okay. We're going to have a gully chat afterwards. But tell me this. You're in love? Or getting there, or is it?
Yeah.
Getting there.
I'm very shy
She's
to say this on
blushing.
No, I don't want to talk. The only reason I'm blushing is because I know this is going to be on national television, and I don't want to talk about things that are sacred or matters of the heart on national television.
She's become
because
so Bollywood now.
I have learned to become Bollywood because I realize it's the only way to be. Otherwise, people just ask you these endless questions, and you have to like talk about so many things. And there are some things that you just want to keep to yourself.
Because
so
when you were that, you were
whether
talking
or not
about
I'm
it
in love.
quite openly on a public platform.
When I was what?
When I'm saying when you were just modeling, right? It's things have changed.
I think there was
right?
a lot less attention on me. People paid me less attention because I wasn't an actress, and that's what I said in my conclave talk. Was that the thing I noticed? The first is that as an actress you get judged. Suddenly people want to know more about you, then they want to put a spotlight on you and then judge you for being who you are.
Now, even though this is from a film, yeah, but I'm sure that this kind of like. This is my point. That same thing I was talking to you about in the
Can you put it on
conclave.
now?
Yep.
Okay,
That
great.
in the society we live in right now, you and me cannot be the way that we really want to be physically.
I think, yes, because I think that people look to us as being examples or being, we're sort of perfect people, or we have to behave in a certain way and set an example for people that are watching us and women that are looking at us and women that look up to us. So I think it's good to be yourself, but I think that who you are can also be misconstrued or misinterpreted, and that's why you want to be careful sometimes.
No, but you're so comfortable with your body and your sexuality, and you own it. How does one get there in a country like ours?
I think it's to not perceive it as being sexual or sensual. Like you said in your intro, it's my body is my body. It's something that God gave me. I was born with it and I'll die with it. And it's my tool to aid me in doing very many different things in life. It facilitates my exercise. It facilitates my job. There you go. It helps me run marathons. That's how I feel about my body. I don't feel like it's a vulgar thing. I don't feel like it's a sexual object. I don't feel like that about myself. I feel like that is exactly what my body helps me do. It helps me to achieve things. It helps me to achieve mental peace and silence by understanding that I can, if I meditate and I focus and I do this with my body, that my mind will come to that place as well.
So you run 25
It's my
kilometers.
meditation. This is my meditation. This is my shanti.
You know,
my
a
nirvana.
lot of people will say, this is their meditation too, looking at you, but that's not what we're talking about. Let's talk about the running for a second.
Yes.
So 25 kilometers, what timing did you do?
I did 42 kilometers.
42 kilometers, okay,
Yeah.
this time.
I
Right?
did it in 4 hours and 11 minutes. I placed. I trained very hard. That's my favorite photo of myself. Can I keep that for later?
You can keep that, but it's a really bad quality. We're going to put a better one on
This is
on
my
screen.
favorite photo of myself. I'm going to keep this.
Yeah.
I finished in 4 hours and 11 minutes. I trained really, really hard for it. You know, I read before I ran the marathon that your sister, Cully, ran the marathon. She was one of the people that motivated me to run the marathon.
Really?
Yes. What was her book called?
It was called Confessions of a Serial Dieter.
Exactly. I bought her book at a time when I felt particularly unhealthy. And I just felt like I was eating things that were unnecessary. So I bought a couple of diet books, and that was one of them. And it turns out that I didn't learn too much about dieting, but I was highly entertained. And I learned that she ran the marathon.
Okay, so now you're a self-confessed thrill junkie. What's the last 2 thrilling things that you've done?
I think I went skiing recently. That was thrilling. That was the first time I'd ever
you go
gone
off
skiing.
piste?
Did I what?
Did you go off-piste, or were you on
What? That's very like skiing. What's off-piste? Like
Okay,
when you just like go down.
when you're not
free.
on the when you're on the soft snow, when you're not on the
No. I didn't do that.
Okay, okay, well, no,
I don't even know what that word means. Yeah, off-piste.
Now you do.
That's how amateur I am. No, I did. I got onto the onto the sort of the machine that takes you up the mountain.
Yeah.
And then I skied down and I fell on my ass, but that was pretty thrilling.
Okay.
Twice. The instructor left me alone on both times that he finally let go of me because I thought, okay, I've been doing this for 3 hours. I'm really confident. You know, I feel really good. And then I did it and I just like skidded the whole way down the mountain.
Okay, we're going to play a quick round of couch confession to end the show. Now
I'm scared of these.
No, this you have to answer without thinking.
Okay.
Okay? What is the most arrogant thing you've ever done?
I think sometimes it was a very tough question. Maybe assuming that I knew how to do something when I didn't, like going skiing, for example. Like I can ski down this mountain.
Straight, yeah. I can pretend. What is your greatest fear?
Not being independent.
Who would you like to be stuck in a lift with?
My little sister Amita. She makes me laugh no end.
And who would you not like to be stuck in a lift with?
Someone really strict. Probably one of my teachers from school.
What are your dreams made of?
I can't tell you what her name is because she might watch this.
What are your dreams made of?
My dreams, very different, like my actual dreams at night. They're very scattered. Sometimes I dream of flying. Sometimes I wake up.
I mean your dreams.
Oh, okay. I see. I was evading the question,
Yeah,
but
I know. You can
by
evade it.
talking
If you
about
don't
my
want.
actual dreams.
Yeah.
What are my dreams made of? I think they're ever evolving and they're ever changing depending on what phase of life I'm in. But I think they have a lot to do with beaches and under coconut trees. At the same time, selling organic beauty products and acting in movies and walking down red carpets all at the same time.
Sitting on a red couch.
Sitting on a red couch.
Playing guitar.
Playing guitar, exactly. Playing guitar
Making
under the
Miss
stars.
Piggies.
Making piggy balloons.
Yeah.
Running marathons. I feel like I'm living my dream.
So what is the strangest thing you've ever put in your mouth?
I don't know. I don't put strange things in my mouth. I'm not one of those people. Like, I'm not experimental when it comes to food. Sorry, why are you laughing? Why don't put strange things in my mouth?
Nor do I. That's why I'm
what's the strange
laughing.
thing you put in your mouth?
I was trying to think of it at the same
Yeah.
time. Maybe one of my baby's toys to
Yeah, I don't know.
see why she was sucking it.
Yeah. Did my mom put a bottle in my mouth? That would have been pretty strange.
Yeah,
I
now
just
it
wanted to be
feels like-
breastfed, and there's this big thing, like this big plastic, like, well, I don't know. Maybe that was strange.
Maybe. What
Maybe.
comes to mind when I say the word couch?
You. This. You can't ask me that question right now because I'm sitting on a big red couch with fur all over it. You're
Okay,
very
but
good.
come,
That was a good interview.
see if
no,
you
next
can
time,
play
I
any-
promise.
Okay, fine. Okay,
have to
assuming
do
that you'll
next time.
come next time, huh?
I swear I will. No, you won't want me next time?
What if I don't want you?
Oh, you don't want me? Are you being pricey now? Did I not do well the first time? You didn't do everything I wanted. You're not coming.
Yeah, how do you
There
know I'm
will
going to
be no
invite you
next
the next time? No next time for Lisa.
Oh, there will be no next time.
Put the C in the ouch and the ing in the couch, and we got couching with Koel.
He was very kind. We broke up and he let me stay there for 2 more days. And then after that, he was like, okay, leave. So I had to leave. So I called this girl and I moved in with her. And it was the beginning of the rest of my life because for me, that was the time that I decided I would never be put in that position ever again. I would never be with somebody that didn't value me, number one. I would never be in the street. I would always be independent and I would always be my own woman, living life on my own terms, regardless of whether or not I lived with somebody. I would, have enough cushion in the push-in and money in the bank and be able to support myself.
Put the C in the ouch and the ing in the couch, and we got couching with Koel.
Ouch!
Couch.
Ouch!
No, couch.
Ouch!
Couching.
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 Coeling.
With Koeling. I have the
Koeling.
gorgeous, free-spirited, bohemian, leggy Lisa Hyden. I don't think I need to introduce you anymore, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to talk about, at 20, I think, you had 2 suitcases in your hand. You were jobless.
I did.
And
cases. And I remember I had a girlfriend that I'd gone to school with who I hadn't seen in about 3 years. And I'd had lunch with her the day before. She was a childhood friend. And I had nowhere to go, and I was so new, and I had come.
Where were your parents?
My parents were in India. I had my sister. I had my family. I could have gone and lived with them.
But you were doing it
on
your own.
But I didn't. I was doing it on my own, and I didn't have the courage to tell them. I just got kicked out. I was so embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? My boyfriend broke up with me, and now I'm in the street.
Like, not even like halfway, let's move on. Like, you're out, right? Yeah.
I'm in the street.
Yeah.
actually being right for each other. And you know when you're in a relationship and you can feel that love is not enough or the chemistry or the dynamic is not working and you love this person so much but they're taking you for granted, they don't see your value, all of these you just feel as though you could leave the room and it would make no difference to their life whatsoever. So I was in a bit of a relationship like that, and then I told him something. There was a specific fight and an argument that ended the relationship, and I was living with him at the time, and I was very young. I was 19 years old or 20 years old, and I was in the street with my two suitcases.
You were standing in the middle of the streets in Australia. Tell me how you got there and what happened after that.
Of course you would bring that up first. You're so naughty. You told me before this you did some research on me. Okay, so I ended up in the street because I had a boyfriend that I was living with at the time, and I'm going to stick to what I said in the interview. I told him something. Well, it was a long lead up of various different things.
You will tell me what actually happened. What happened? You don't have to go into like details of the fight or, you know, with the boyfriend and stuff. But
well, it was a long lead up of us obviously not